boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages. Today, when my smartboard decides to load, oh, there's our old stuff. We are going to continue some of that stuff that we were practicing last week because I didn't feel like you guys were feeling really strong about it yet. Am I correct on that? Kind of a, give me, tell me how you're feeling. Are you agreeing with me? Do you feel like, yeah, I need a little bit more assistance on that? I think so. Okay. That's kind of what I was getting from you guys last week. And so I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to spend a little bit more time on it because I know it's different than what we've talked about before. Before, when we talked about long vowels, we focused on long, A, long E, long I, long U, long O, all spelled with bossy E, right? And so we are going to continue with that long vowel where they say their name, right? But this time we're not focused on bossy E. We're talking about other ways to spell it. Remember, we were working on, who remembers, some things, agree. Sounding familiar? We were working on long vowels. Do you remember what we were working on? Long A. And do you remember the other ways that long A was spelled? Anybody? Okay, I'm seeing some lights of recognition on your face, some little hands popping in the air. How was long A spelled? Ellie. AI, very good. How else? Jimmy? Oh, you're just stretching. You think you could tell me anyway?
AY.
AY, very good. So even though you were just stretching, you did have it in your brain. And then Miss Elizabeth, A by itself, right? So the silly smart word. Okay. Come on, smart boy, you can do it. Come on. I don't even know what it's doing. It's got some type of craziness. And what's silly is I can't even exit out of that because, oh wait, because it won't line up for me to exit out of it. Ironically, I can't even exit out of it because I can't get it lined up enough to exit out. There we go. I'm going to turn up the volume.
This kind of thing.
All right. Okay, so thank you guys for being patient with me. AY, that's was a little funky. AI. Whoa. And Miss Kennison falls off of her steps. Okay. Oh, goodness. And A by itself, right? So let's talk about, and why don't you guys also get out your whiteboards, your markers. If you're not currently using a whiteboard or a marker because you were playing with it or breaking them or whatever reason, get out your papers. Okay, and we will practice spelling some of these words together. And I'm going to challenge you guys. I'm going to challenge you and see if I say some of the words, if you guys can spell it. All right. And Mr. Max, once you're done with that little sketch book, that little writing book, we'll get you a new marker and you'll be good to go. Got it? All right. No, there is a scratch paper notebook in your desk. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, who remembers an AY word? An AY word. Eeny, meeny, miny, who haven't I called out this morning? Miranda, and then Danny. What?
Say.
Say it again.
Say.
Say, okay. It's hard to hear.
What?
Please write say. Tell me how to write it. What? And I. Oh, you know what? Because your scratch paper was taken away yesterday or on Friday because you were drawing pictures all over it, right? I thought you put it back in your desk at the end of the day because I don't see where I put it.
Yeah. So over here, that's here with it for the early.
Anyway, stay good. I see you guys written. I'm wandering around, Jimmy. No drawing pictures, or you will lose your writing stuff, and that would be really, really sad. You were supposed to write the word say, which we know has the AY spelling pattern. Max, I wouldn't draw those lines all over. You're gonna make it really hard for you to be able to write. Okay, move that over. You're not gonna have any room. Okay, Danny, tell me how you spelled it.
S-A-Y.
S-A-Y, and I saw everybody who wrote it spelled it that way and correctly. Very good. So let's talk about some of those other words. What you doing, Miguel? Where's your pen? Where's your marker? You got it? You have it? Can you get it out, please? Okay, let's talk about some other AY words. May. Danny? Play. Day. Do you have one, Max? Come up with one, please. Ink. And Ellie? Okay, we gotta think about there's lots of AY words. As you guys think of some of those, and we'll all repeat the ones that were said, write them down, okay? Because I think you guys will remember how to write them down when you're thinking about that AY, the end of words. Miranda? Hold on, we'll get there, okay? What about sway? Right, Miss Kenson got up here and did a dance with you to show you. Dance with me, make me sway. Right. Tray, very good, like your lunch tray. Jimmy, we already said May. Now please quit shouting at me because right now you're being disrespectful to the other learners. Okay? I believe you said May first thing. I already called on you and you said it. Tray, yeah. Trained is not spelled with AY. Train fits into a different spelling pattern. So think about those AYs over here. What are you doing, Miguel? Where is your marker? Didn't you just have it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. Here's your board. There you go. All right, write down some of those AY words. If it does not have an AY, I should not see it. So I should not see plain there. Plain does not have an AY. Right, we talked about say, play, day, make, stay, sway, way, as in the way back home. Okay, I see lots of you guys, che is not a word. Che is not a word. Oh. So you made a goofy mistake and we're going to learn on it. We're going to build from that. So, and this happens a lot. It's not just you. A lot of you guys, when you get to a TR blend, TR and DR blends are very, very tricky Okay, very, very tricky. And you have to listen very carefully to make sure that you're doing the right sounds, because a lot of the times with TR and DR, we change it. So TR becomes CHR, chur, and DR for some reason becomes like JR, jurite, things like that. So listen very carefully. It's not a churray. Think of how you would have to say that word if it was actually spelled like that. That would be a churray. It's terrain. Terrain.
That's her name.
Okay, so I know it's very tricky and it's very easy to make that mistake. So I'm helping you guys. T. It's not terrain. Where's my? Watch my mouth, okay, Jimmy? I'm standing well over 6 feet away from you. Taking this down. It's not ray. It's not ray. It's a. Okay, the sounds are different.
They
had a little emergency we had to address.
all they got was train while you were gone.
Oh, first graders, you can do better. Okay, we have train and rain. We can do better than that, but this is the one that I was mostly concerned about is that AI. I thought that we really got. What's in your head? What controls your whole body?
You're the only one trying to think. Wait, okay. First graders, stand up. Put your pencils down. Miguel, stand up. Okay, we're gonna put our thinking caps on. When we put thinking caps on, we take our ears and and then you kind of massage your earlobes a little. Jimmy, I asked you to do something. I am expecting you. You are in the first grade. We're putting on our thinking caps. Massage your ears. Everyone get a quick
Second
drink
graders,
of water.
please ignore the bug. Please. Is it gonna hurt you? The bug is more afraid of you guys than you are of the bug.
Sit down. And if I say burr, we have, what is our ending max? What is our word family? What is, stop. I'm asking a question. I expect a response. What is the word family we're working with? So these are all word families. Which one are we working on?
It is not going to hurt you.
Elizabeth?
A.
So long A with AI. Okay? So if we have burr, and it ends with an N, burr, A, wow. I have one that is thinking.
First graders, what's inside your head that controls all your body and your thoughts?
A brain.
A brain. Thank you. Please listen and participate in the instruction. Touch that so now it pops up.
Okay, here's another one. What happens when you make a mess on your clothes? Anaya.
Ooh, that's
Air
good.
5 across the room. Are you ready? 1, 2,
Air
3,
5
go.
Anaya.
No, Ellie, you didn't get it.
Don't steal Naya's Air 5.
What does a male lion have around? Or no, it's a type of it in some.
Second graders, you guys need to be reading. It is not your mess around time.
In some cities, it is the mate. It's the where it's a mate busy road. Starts with an M.
Ooh. Ooh.
Once that mask is on,
Jimmy, yeah, put your mask on.
what, Jimmy?
On Main Street.
Main Street.
Main as in Main Street. Very good. If you are not doing it, please write these along with me. Practicing those words. What happened? You had 2 pens, Miguel. What happened to the other one? The one that worked.
Oh, you're
Okay, what about some other AI words? We did a lot last week. I know we had a long weekend, but we've done a lot. What about if things are connected, you can make them out of paper or out of metal. And this actually does have a CH in it. Chain, very good. Mr. Jimmy.
What about cane?
What about cane?
Yeah.
One of them is spelled with an AI. My brain is just thinking.
Which one?
Oh, maybe none of them. There's just a Bible figure that's spelled AI, Cain, as in Cain and Abel. You guys. Huh? I was looking up, Jimmy asked me a question about cane, and I was trying to find out if sugar cane was spelled A-N-E also, and I think it is. Just the only A-I-N, Cain, is like Cain and Abel in the Bible. Just to confuse me. All right, any other AI words? What about, Miranda? Lane. We have lay as in L-A-Y, lay down. But lane is L-N-E. Plane. And remember, this is not like an airplane. This is like I like a plain bagel. I like plain yogurt. Okay. What?
Not a weather vane.
Not a vein. That's the I.
What?
What vein?
What are you?
We're working on well, we're working on all of them, but although talking about plain bagel, bagel, right? Has A by itself. But what about gain? Gain. You all will gain in knowledge throughout the year. Get more of it. Gain. You will gain in your brain. Oh, Miss Kennison, you're so funny. Okay, second graders, you guys really do need to be reading and not just chit-chatting. Please, please, please. So talking about A by itself, remember last week we had our story, April, the agent. Now technically agent is kind of the E making the A say its name, but more than A by itself. It's just in the middle and the other was to the end. What?
How does that A say its name without the E?
Some of them just do. That's why we're saying those are just ones that say their name. We don't always know why. Or I don't know why. Maybe there's some crazy rules that I don't know about yet. That is entirely possible. Carry, C-A-R-R-Y, carry is, right? There's no vowel right next to it to make that A safe thing. Right, we have carry on our sight words. Carry. Oh, hold on. The book is tricking me because I was like, it doesn't really, it's not, I'm not
I
gonna
was
focus
going
that.
to say that.
You're right, I know. I'm looking at the book and I'm reading it and I'm like just writing down what it tells me to write down. Grain fits into, yeah, like if you feed animals grain, or you guys should eat whole grain. Words, chain, rain. Yeah. Anyway, you guys got me. Every time y'all slam that door, my whole board shakes and it messes up. May, pay, of course, day. And once you can spell day, you can spell yesterday, Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday. All the words with day at the end. Sway, stray. You see a dog running around without their owner there, stray.
What does stray mean?
Stray means like you're kind of lost, you don't have anybody. All right. I'll let you guys practice writing a few more of those words, thinking about them, putting those in your brain, and then we are going to practice our high frequency words for the week. High frequency words for the week. What?
What about maple?
Maple. Yeah, that one kind of fits because there's two letters blocking the E from making the A say its name. Maple. Dance with me.
Yay.
I just did this with third grade. I think the long day.
Mm-hmm. What is this L doing? Like, that's an R. Okay, sorry. It's kind of, the board doesn't really let me write very nicely sometimes. That is an R, not an L. Stray. Stray. Like a dog that's running around without it. It's people, or if there's cats always running around that don't really belong to anybody, they're called stray. Hang. Like if
Like
you
hangman.
play hangman.
I play volleyball.
Yep, hang.
Miss Henderson,
Mr. Jimmy.
I actually saw a stray baby kitten running around my house.
Running around your house, like around the outside of the house.
Like running like in
This is Danny. Huh? Is it an apple? No, that's a short A, right? Short A makes this kind of sound. And yeah, it's not an apple and banana. That's just how we say it when we're being silly and we're singing the song, right? Apples and bananas. Anybody else? Any other words? Wow, Allie, you wrote those down pretty fast. Good girl. Anaya, nice work today. Good, thank you. You must have taken your brain medicine. I don't know. I'm just making up things. I don't even know what that is. I forgot to take my vitamins this morning, so my brain's not working, obviously. Ay. I know what it is. She must have got a good night's sleep. That's what it is. You did? All right. I found the magic thing. Good night's sleep. Does it?
I did not have a good night's sleep.
Oh,
My
no.
mom wakes me up so early.
I want to know. All right, ladies. Now chit chat time. If I could get Danny and Ellie to put their masks over their noses, please and thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna give you guys just a couple more seconds. Jimmy, just write what you can, hon. I know you were kind of doing something else for a couple minutes, but write what you can because we need to move on to our sight words for the week, our high frequency words, so we can practice then our your decodable readers. Go ahead. Bing. Bang. Like bang. There came a loud bang from the garage. Yeah, and so anything with that A-N-G. Bang. Bang. That looks weird. Oh. I wrote a K instead of G. My brain really is not working this morning.
I could not see it.
I know, I can't even see it. Don't worry about it. I don't even understand how it's possible for that to write down there. When it won't write up top. Bang. Good.
Like getting business.
Uh-oh, Mr. Squatrito. I realized I was almost writing a mid one for her. Okay. All right, we are going to move on. You guys are doing a very nice job. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. After you woke up a little bit, you're at least writing. Thank you, Anaya, for being on task today. Yay. That's it. Yay, I'm on task. Good day. And today is gonna be a good day. What day is it? It is the 15th. I need to change my date on stuff. All right, I'm gonna clear this so we can move on. Okay, we're gonna do this in a couple of different ways, right? When we do our high frequency words, we spell them in the air, we write them on down our arms, right? You can finger spell them on your desk, or if you really want to, write them with your markers or your pencils, you can do that too, okay? All right, thank you, boys and girls, for listening. About, please spell this up in the air as I write it on the board. A, B, O, U, T, about. You should have spelled that with your fingers up in the air. We're going to write it down our arms. A, B, O, U, T, about. Very good. Please write it on your desks with your fingers or on your whiteboards or notebooks with your pencil. A, B, O U T. About. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Next word, animal. Animal. A. Up in the air. I should see all your hands moving. Thank you. A. N. I. N. A. L. Animal. Very good. Louise, please get out from under the table. Second graders, you guys need to be reading responsibly. Okay, all right. First graders, sorry for the interruption. A, N, I, M, A, L. Animal. All right. And then you need to either finger spell it or write it on your whiteboards or your paper. Okay. A. And excuse me, Max, that means you too, honey. Everybody, Jimmy, Max, you two also need to participate. A, N, I, M, A, L. Mr. Max, we were finger spelling on our desks or on your paper actually writing. All right. Please pay attention. All right, next one is carry. See, and this is what got me confused earlier, is because they told me to write it down for spelling word stuff. Hey, R, we should be spelling this in the air. R, Y. My board has that wonky part right through the middle. Just ignore my bad handwriting because of that. Now down your arm. C, A, R, R, Y. Carrie, Zuhadia, Sophia, it is not your chit chat time. All right, finger writing on your desks or pencils or pens on your paper whiteboards. C A R R Y. Carry. All right. Okay. Next word, 8. And this is as in the number 8. As in, are you guys 6 right now? You will be 8 in 2 years, right? In 2 birthdays. 2 birthdays from now, you'll be 8. If you're 6 now, right? In 2 birthdays, you'll be 8. If you're 7, then only 1 birthday until you're 8, right? All right, 8, as in the number 8. Finger spell it in the air. E, I, G, H, T, 8, as in the number 8. Not to be confused with what you ate for dinner. As in the number 8. Okay, spell it down your arms. E. Miguel, can you please do this with me? Thank you. E, I, G, H, T, 8. All right, and now you're going to spell it on your desks or with your pencils, right? E, I, G, H, T. On your desk, Jimmy. We already air spelled it, so this would be on your desk or in your notebook, right?
I thought we were doing that.
He lost his mind for a second. Don't forgive him. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy, please don't be totally crazy. All right. Moving on. Thank you, first graders who are ready. I'm going to erase the first couple because we're done with these guys. Bye-bye. Adios. Okay. Next one, spell in the air. We are doing give. As in, please give this paper to your mother. G. Sorry about the not nice handwriting. It's the board. I. V. And a useless E at the end. We call it useless kids. Otherwise, if it jumped over, it would be guys. Right? So we want to remember it's give with a useless E at the end. Okay? G-I-V-E. Let's spell it down our arms. G-I-V-E. Give. All right, and then write it on your papers or in your hand, or like not writing in your hands, pretending to write in your hands, right? G-I-V-E. Give. Did you already write this, Miss Ellie? Okay, so what you're doing is you're writing when I asked you to like write it in the air or something. I want you to do all of them. Okay? So now you owe me air writing because you were writing on your paper or writing on your whiteboard during air writing. So you need to write it in the air. Please. So Ellie, write it in the air right now. G, there you go. There you go. I-V-E. Thank you. All right, our next one is our, as in, this is our classroom, right? It belongs to everyone. This is our classroom. Oh, you are our classroom. We're spelling it down our arms now. Thank you. Oh, you are our. Okay, now write it on your papers or spell it on your hands just with your finger. Oh, you are our. As in our classroom. It belongs to all of us. Mr. Jimmy, can I remind you what an R looks like? Yeah, you did a T. Remember, for R, we go down. Whoa. And then, well, okay, not like that. Gotta go to a good part of the board. Here's a good part. Down, back up, and make your curve.
That's crazy R.
Yeah, that's crazy. Don't look at that. That was a wonky part of the board. It wouldn't let me do it right. Okay. Once you have done that, cap your markers, wipe off your boards, put them away in your desk. Please excuse me, Ginny, I can't be shouting over everybody, okay? Remember, I gotta be loud so you guys can hear me, but please don't make me shout over what you're doing. Please get out your decodable readers. Mr. Jimmy, you're gonna have to open your desk to get out your decodable reader, right?
This is ELA. This is the PowerPoint.
Okay. All right. We have read April the Agent before, right? You guys have read that a couple of times. She had to discover who was stealing the bagel, right? Please turn to the second story in that little booklet.
April the Agent.
Okay, now you're on the second story there. That is titled A Basic Dog. Basic. A basic dog. Please turn to the correct story. Please turn to the correct story. A basic dog. Anaya, you need to find the next story in there. You don't have. What? Yeah. All right, you got it, Anaya. There you go. Oh, you turn right to it. Perfect. A basic dog. No, we're over here.
On the road.
A basic dog. And we're gonna do I read and then we read. Okay? Now you're on our one. Come on, right here. We just read A Basic Dog, the title. Please follow along as I read. I want you to make like this thing. Between your fingers, okay? A dog is an animal that makes a good pet. You can give a dog just about any name you want. You can name it April.
What?
Oh, they're going to use the same name as earlier? Silly. Oh, sorry, let's read that together. This Kennison got excited to move on. Let's read that together. A dog is an animal that makes a good pet. You can give a dog just about any name you want. You can name it April. Very nice reading.
What's it?
Okay, please follow along as I read the next page. I know, that book had a dog named April too. Please turn the page, Jimmy. Okay, thank you those of you who turned page. Your fingers are ready to follow along as I read. Are you going to be a rock star today, Anaya? All right. Now I'm going to read and you guys follow, and then we'll read it together, okay? A dog can have little legs. A dog can use its legs to do a basic thing like run. A dog can stand up and beg for a thing like a bagel too. I know, we're hearing about bagels again in this book, huh?
Wait, I think there's the deep bagel biters.
All right, we're gonna read that all together now. A dog can, Jimmy, it's that page 6, not the other page. There you go. We're gonna start that again, start from A. A dog can have, excuse me, Jimmy, please don't make me ask you again. Nicely point each word as we read it, follow along. We're gonna start for a third time. A dog can have little legs. A dog can use its legs to do a basic thing like run. A dog can stand up and beg for a thing like a bagel too.
This stuff right here is my dog, Luna.
Okay, next page. Please follow along as I read, and then we will read it together, okay? Excuse me. It's I read and then we read. Give a dog a stick. Can it carry 8 sticks? Some dogs can, but the sticks can't be too big. Let's read it together. Give a dog a stick. Can it carry 8 sticks? Some dogs can, but the sticks can't be too big.
That looks like that's so cute.
All right. Now, have you guys noticed what I noticed? There's not a ton of long A words in here, right? There's just like basic, April, bagel. But it does have a lot of other reminders. Like it has a lot of our sight words in it. And it has a lot of other words that we practiced in it. So, all right, please read it. Please follow along as I read it, and then we're going to read it together. A dog can do many, don't cover the words as we read it, please. Many things. A dog can pull on apron. Ooh, there's another word with A by itself, right? Apron strings to tell a cook that the pan is smoking. A dog can fetch things for us. A dog can romp and play. A dog can be a pal. Let's read this together. A dog can do many things. A dog can pull on apron strings to tell a cook that the pan is smoking. A dog can fetch things for us. A dog can romp and play. A dog can be a pal. All right, so we came up with a few more words in there. What they said, apron.
Snail, bug.
Yeah, the next story, snail mail, has a lot more.
Bagel.
Bagel, right? We mostly came up with words that, April. Jimmy, it is very hard for me to talk while you are constantly talking. Okay? April. Short A makes this kind of sound. So you're writing that it's an A word, but it is short A, not long A. Okay, there was not a ton of long A words in there. There was some like make, that is A consonant E, right? Which we practiced a lot a few weeks ago. Like make, but there was a lot of our sight words in there. And a lot of review sight words is mostly what this book is. And then sight words for this week. Okay? All right. We are going to read this story with your partners. I want you guys to, excuse me, Jimmy, please don't make me shout over you. Okay? I want you guys to each read the story 2 times. Okay? It's a pretty short story. I think you guys can do that pretty quick. And then I want you to read your sight words to each other. At least 1 time each, ideally 2 times each, if you could get to that. Okay? Then read True Stories and Wonders. And if you have any time after that, you get to do epic books, right? Get epic. Woohoo. So that is what you guys need to be doing for today. Hold on, I will solve that problem.